You think you're free. But what if you're not? Not because someone took your rights, not because they locked you away, but because they gave you everything you wanted and called it freedom. They gave you TikTok, Netflix, Spotify. They gave you dopamine on demand and told you to chase whatever made you happy. And so you did. You chased, you consumed, you scrolled. But with each scroll, something in you went quiet. What if freedom isn't the ability to feel good, but the ability to face truth? Carl Jung once said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." But you've been taught to avoid yourself, to mute your discomfort, to run from your own shadow. And Aldous Huxley saw this coming nearly a century ago. He warned that the future wouldn't enslave us through pain. It would seduce us with pleasure. A society so drowned in stimulation, it forgets how to think, how to feel, how to be. Let's dive into what he saw and how it's unfolding right now. Part 1. The soft chains of modern life. Look at how you start your day. You don't rise, you check in. Your first thought isn't gratitude or presence, it's your notifications. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, a rapid buffet of feelings, faces, filters. You chase microdoses of happiness, and in doing so you lose something much bigger, the capacity to be still. Because real freedom, the kind that comes from inner sovereignty, requires silence. And silence, in today's world, feels like death. So we numb it, we flee, we consume. But slowly, the price of constant pleasure begins to show. You become anxious without reason, disconnected while surrounded, tired even after sleeping. You've become like a fish who thinks the glass bowl is the ocean. But there's a bigger world beyond this dopamine tank. Let's break it open. Part 2. Huxley's Prophecy. Pleasure as Control. In Brave New World, Aldous Huxley painted a future unlike Orwell's 1984. There were no jackboots, no torture rooms, just comfort. People weren't controlled by fear, they were controlled by contentment. They were pacified with entertainment, casual sex, and a pill called soma, which erased pain, boredom, even the urge to think too deeply. They didn't resist because they didn't care. They didn't ask why, because soma made asking irrelevant. Sound familiar? Today, soma has gone digital. TikTok when you feel bored, Instagram when you feel lonely, YouTube when you feel anxious, DoorDash when you feel empty. And the terrifying part, it works. But here's what Huxley was really warning us about. People will come to love their oppression, to adore the technologies that undo their capacities to think. We've built a society where discomfort is treated like disease, where boredom is a glitch, not a gateway. But discomfort isn't your enemy, it's your guide. Let's explore why you've been trained to run from it. For stopping up, if you've ever felt like something isn't right, like you're numbing yourself but still feel empty, hit like and subscribe now. Because here, we don't sedate, we awaken. Drop a comment. When was the last time you sat in complete silence? Let's talk. This channel is a rebellion. Part 3. Jung and the Shadow of Addiction. Carl Jung believed that within each of us is a shadow. It holds everything we hide, our pain, our insecurities, our unspoken truths. And because we fear that part of us, we distract ourselves from it. Every scroll, every binge, every burst of noise is a way to run from the parts of us we don't want to meet. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." So when you reach for your phone or binge another series, ask yourself, what am I avoiding? Who is it I'm trying not to become aware of? Because avoiding your shadow doesn't make it disappear. It makes it stronger. You don't break addiction by cutting off the supply. You break it by healing the wound that demanded it. Part 4. Dopamine hijack, when pleasure consumes meaning. Let's talk about dopamine. It's not evil, it's essential. It motivates us to eat, to connect, to strive. But we've hacked it. We've turned it into a game of quantity over depth. More clicks, more likes, more pleasure. And when pleasure becomes predictable, it becomes meaningless. You get high off the scroll, but low when you return to reality. Why? Because you've trained your brain to expect fireworks from paper matches. And suddenly, real life, conversations, books, nature, work, feels flat. You become dependent on the artificial, addicted to the curated, dulled to the authentic. That's not freedom. That's sedation. And you don't need more dopamine. You need discipline. Let's build it next. Part 5. Breaking the cycle. 3 steps to reclaim freedom. 1. Sit with silence. Every day. 10 minutes. No screen, no task. Just you and you. At first, it will feel unbearable. That's how you know you're getting close. As Blaise Pascal wrote, all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. Sit anyway. That discomfort is sacred. 2. Track your escapes. Ask, when do I reach for stimulation? What emotion is underneath that reflex? Write it down. Pattern awareness is your first weapon against programming. 3. Trade stimulation for meaning. Don't replace TikTok with another app. Replace it with real pursuits. Reading something difficult, starting a creative project, having one raw, undistracted conversation. You don't need to detox from pleasure. You need to return to purpose. Part 6. The real awakening. Let's revisit our question. What if chasing happiness is the very thing that's breaking you? Because chasing implies that it's always somewhere else. And that belief keeps you running, scrolling, consuming, wanting. But what if you stopped? What if you let silence speak? What if you listened to the discomfort instead of running from it? You'd find something most people never touch. Wholeness. Not pleasure, not performance, not popularity, but the deep knowing that you are not broken. You're just overstimulated and underconnected to yourself. You're not here to feel good all the time. You're here to become real. And realness doesn't come from dopamine. It comes from depth. You too, be undersea. If you've made it this far, you're not a consumer. You're a seeker. Hit like, subscribe, and share this with one person who's drowning in distraction. Then comment below. What is one pleasure you're willing to let go of, to find something deeper? This isn't just content, it's a revolution of awareness. And you just took the first step.